Thank you for tuning in to CWHipHop's podcast. I'm your host, DJ bvnc, aka Bank. Co-host across from me, I got Prizm. Garke is out for today, but we have a guest here, JDMakesMusic. So you can find me on Instagram at bvnc9to5, Twitter at IamBVNC. Prizm, where can the listener find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at prizmrap, PRIZMRAP, and on Facebook as Prizm. What about you, JD?
JD makes music on everything.
On everything. So yeah, we just had a live DJ.
We're back with the podcast.
We're back with the podcast directly after here. We're going to start doing these live right after the live DJ. So if you want to listen on CWHipHop.com, we usually go live for the podcast at about 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I think most of our fans are within the Wisconsin area here, but maybe we got some outside, so different time zone, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We do have a reason for Garke being out. We are going to be going to a concert with Ace Wild over in La Crosse on Saturday, July 24th at the Cavalier Theater. We just had him in the studio here, did an interview with him, did the live DJ, so if you want to go check that out, it's everywhere that you usually get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. You can go listen to it. Otherwise, it's on SoundCloud too, along with the live DJ that we did with him. It also airs on CWHipHop.com at 10 a.m. till noon. It goes the podcast and then the live DJ, so you can catch that every day. Also, we're going to be having the Oshi in here next week. She is going to Mesa, Arizona on July 23rd to do a show out there, and she's flying back and going to be in here, so we'll be talking to her about that, what her music is and who she is and where she wants it to take her. So that'll be a good interview to catch, and we'll be then announcing the next two we got the following month, probably shortly after that, because that's the 28th, so it'll be end of the month there. So if you want to find all that out, make sure you tune in on CWHipHop.com, 6 p.m. We do this every week.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't really got much for topics this week. We had two new artists this week. We had Nameless TJK and TG. They're both artists. One was from Wisconsin. Both are from Wisconsin. One's from Marshfield. The other one, I believe, is from the Madison area. So their links to all their music is on CWHipHop.com under the artist page, so you can check that out. I know one of the songs for TG is actually the music video, so it was a good one. I think it was for Cinnamon Toast Grudge. He's an interesting artist. Like I wasn't sure what to expect with each new artist we get, but I was like, okay, yeah. This one he's found a niche, and he's a fast rap and got his image going on. Like, yeah, I enjoyed that music video. What do you want to talk about going to the podcast? We're gonna kind of.
I mean, cool little thing, kind of going off of what you were just talking about, is the uniqueness of everyone on the station is kind of crazy too. I mean, no one sounds like anybody. We're all kind of got our own different style to everything, and it's just really cool to see. Honestly, I was expecting to find a bunch of copycats and all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of unique sound that comes out of here.
Oh yeah, I think there's artists who are like, they kind of sound in the same group, like genre, yeah, but not the same. Yeah, I do enjoy that. There is a very big variety within our artists. I think we're pushing 60 now on the station. We keep adding 2 each week, so it's slowly growing each and every week. So I mean, what are we on, like episode 22? Just in that time since we've started, we've pretty much had 44 artists. I don't think we've added all the way in the beginning, but pretty much since we've had the studio, it's been 2 artists each and every week. So we're growing, and I honestly didn't think we were going to get this far. Like, I know I've said it on the podcast before, 15.
I remember when you guys had 20, and you guys were all geeked about it.
Yeah.
It was nuts. That was like right at the start of the big push. We hit 20, and we're like,
I think we were 17, and then we went to like 30 or 40 like the following month. Like, we'd been doing it for a couple months, and then all of a sudden it like doubled with the amount of people that we were finding.
It was kind of... They just all came out of the woodwork on social media. I mean, we got a bunch of people from just different parts of the state, from all over. Milwaukee, Madison, Eau Claire, Oshkosh, Wausau. I think we have a couple people up north a little bit more.
I know one in Ashland.
Ashland.
I know there's a couple up in Ashland, actually. I think we only got one of them, though. I reached out to him, but everybody we reach out to isn't always a guarantee on the station, but a lot of people have been receptive of it. But there's some people where you hit them up and they're like, nah, I'm good. But that's on them if they want to do something else. But I am glad a lot of people have seen what we're trying to do here and have jumped on.
Yeah. No, the reception has been quite crazy, at least from the artists. I think we'll get fan bases a little bit more down the line. But right now, it's the artists that are the big supporters of everything. They seem to love it.
Yeah, I mean, we're pushing their music, getting them in for interviews. I enjoy getting to know the artists a little more. It's like a good hour, 2 hours, just talking to them. We have so many artists in here. It's like at some point we're not going to know everybody, so this is our way of getting to slowly introduce ourselves and introduce them to us and the listeners abroad as well.
And like on Instagram Live, I just had Ace Wild. He's like, "Oh, what's up, JD?" And so like it's even connecting artists and like helping with collaborations across the state and everything as well.
That has also been huge. Yeah, the amount of artists working together. You've been in music for before this.
Yeah.
What did you notice beforehand? Was there a lot of working together, or like there was a bubble?
Rivalry. It was like that seemed to be the drive behind every separate band that you would come across was just rivalry. Like you would talk about another band to somebody else, and they'd be like, "No, fuck those guys." Like it was just like it just seemed like everybody was against each other. I don't know if that's how the scene is now, because I'm not in it anymore. So
yeah.
But I mean that was the vibe that I got from it, and which is part of the reason why I stopped doing music. So.
Yeah, it's hard to keep going and be motivated when it's hate. I've noticed, but having like support, it really makes a drive to keep wanting to do this. Like having the artists even come back and support us after they've seen what we're doing here at the studio and we've given them the platform. It's like, all right, that's like showing the respect of like, let's keep this going because it came for me. Let's do it for somebody else behind me.
Well, and it's kind of cool because like, yeah, we have some people now that are obviously like, we got a bunch of adults, but I'm also starting to see more of the younger generation starting to hop on as well because they see what we're doing and they're like, this is awesome. And like, I want to be a part of this. This is like a dream. And so.
And thinking those couple years, like they start in high school, say freshman year, 4 years. And then it's like those 4 years, they've had that time to develop, and now they're actually like getting paid from their job and like place to live and set up their own studio. They're going to be light years ahead of like some of us who are like starting it, just trying to go right from the start and just getting this ball rolling off of no momentum or like some momentum. Like you really inspired a lot of what this is because we went to your performances at night school. It was you, Don Pablo, and B+. Yep. Those were the first, also one of the more first ones on the station here because of Wassa, it's where we were at. But yeah, you definitely kind of were like an inspiration of like when COVID hit, lockdowns hit, I was like, no, I was just starting to have fun. This was what I wanted. I'd never been to a live show before. I think there was the Saw Cypher or something, QZ Center.
Yeah, that was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I think it was like 2019 or something like that. Yeah. I didn't know about it. It was like, I just didn't know the group of people who were sharing it.
I knew Brandon. And, like, I didn't even know Zach at that point because Zach EP was on that lineup, too. So, but, yeah, I didn't even know of him at that point. So,
sorry. Talking to IG Live.
So, yeah, you did you perform on that one?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't in hip-hop.
Oh, you were doing okay, sorry, I'm kind of bouncing around. But you started hip-hop after probably 2019 then. What'd you do beforehand?
Well, I started writing hip-hop probably about 2017. That was when like shit started getting really bad for me, and that's when I was looking for an outlet. I didn't want to go down the substance road, so I was trying to get back into the music thing, and the metal thing just wasn't for me. And so that hip-hop, but yeah, I wasn't in my zone at all. I hadn't even like brought it up to anybody. It was something that I had going on internally at that point. So, but yeah, all I knew was Brandon, so I didn't go, which I think is unfortunate for me. But I guess sounds like something.
It sounded like
that it was pretty
thing
lit.
to be at. Yeah.
And like I don't like a few of the artists that were on the lineup, but I think it still would have been a pretty good show.
Mm-hmm. Everything I've heard from it was just praise. So like. I don't know, it's kind of cool having like the first real hip-hop live show around here and then expanding from it.
It's a little messed up though, because I heard some behind-the-scenes stuff from a couple of the artists that were involved, and I guess it was pretty messy, and like some of the businesses involved were a little shady, some of the artists involved were a little shady, so behind the scenes I guess it wasn't too fun.
And I think that's one thing we're kind of fighting is like within hip hop there's that stigma.
I don't want that. Yeah.
It's like we got to kind of turn that image around, and like hopefully these venues around here or bars will be like, okay, we'll accept them in. Like it's not just this beef that you hear about. It's like these are people trying to entertain people and make business happen. They're making my pocket go up. I want to help their pocket go up, and we can make this kind of a scene around here to have people who want to do music live be able to. besides having to go out to these other big cities, going down to Milwaukee, going down to or Chicago, where there's already a scene established.
Right, yeah, because around here, you're right, there is a stigma. I mean, we're trying to set up this tour, and you would not believe the amount of times we've heard the click as soon as we say it's a hip-hop artist. And it's just, like, it's discouraging, definitely, but at the same time, it's like, well, these people can hop on now, or they can try to hop on later, and... Yeah, at that point it's gonna be too late. So,
right. Yeah, I think there's that stigma we're fighting. It's something that's just gonna take time, and like you gotta get some successful yeses, and then prove in those yeses, and then more will obviously probably hop on. Just it's getting that ball rolling. There's nothing here. What's the music scene around here really?
I mean, I've heard
for
a good way for us to even be able to is to hit up like DJs in the area, and try and get them to put in a good word for us.
Okay.
Because, I mean, realistically, our guys around here, even that we have in the scene, we've all kind of grown up a little bit, so we're out of that, like, reckless phase that pretty much all of us had.
Some of us.
Yeah. And so, like, I don't know, I feel like as long as we can make those initial connections go well, we're going to do nothing but prosper. We just have to make sure those initial connections, like, work out properly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a balance, I think, that we're gonna have to walk, and I think we can do it though. But like live music around here, obviously there's probably some like country acts. Mostly bars, I would say. It's like if you want to go see live music, you have to go to a bar.
Yeah, it's country acts, cover bands,
covers,
and
God,
DJs.
I hate cover bands, man.
Realistically, yeah, same. I am not a fan of cover bands, but
no offense to those in cover bands, but
I want to hear something original, just personally.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
there's a need for them. Like, if you want to go see live music of music people know, like, yeah, cover band would be good for there. But like everybody doing it, like, let's get some originality and like something that's like, oh, I want to go see this band not because they're going to be playing this kind of music. It's this band's music or something like that. Like, I think you can do it.
It's because it's really, no matter what kind of music you're doing, it's really hard to pave your own way with original music. You know, I don't think it's laziness as so much as like people seeing the opportunity, like, hey, these songs are already written, we can rehearse them, we can learn them, and then we can go play them, and then they build popularity off of that. Mm-hmm. So I've
also seen like some people go from doing that too into like they start making their own music
stuff,
too.
yeah.
So then it is a good jump start for some people, but I feel like in rap it's not really, there's no way to necessarily do that properly.
No.
Because you copy someone's song, you're just going to get hated on for it.
Right.
Like, no one wants to hear another person do someone else's song. We all want to hear your story. We all want to hear your perspective on things. Sorry, I was kind of going on a little tangent, but yeah. It's a different genre compared to any other.
Yeah, originality is huge within hip-hop. Like, we want to hear something new. I notice, like, with a lot of people, just even online with, like, Twitter, they will rate everything. Like, everything's out of 10. I personally hate it. I'm like, take just the time. Why'd you give it that? Yeah. And then delete those numbers. And you'll have more characters to explain why you thought about it. Mm-hmm. But it's always like, I need to be the first. I need to be the best reviewer. And it needs to be, like, a good song, so then my shit will blow up with that song.
Yeah.
So it's like they want a good new song. They don't want to keep hearing the same thing. I would say there's an issue right now within mainstream. It's like stuff kind of always sounds the same. Not necessarily all of it, but like it varies, like taste-wise, sounds very similar. But when you hear like a good new taste and you're like, that's what I want to hear, people eat that up. It's not necessarily like, it's somebody I haven't really heard who's trying something else. If it slaps, it slaps. Right. So make that new slapper in a different kind of lane with it, and you can take that and just run, and people will follow you because you're new. You're like something different. People love that in hip hop. So if you want to, while we do the podcast and live DJ, we do have the Instagram live here. So why don't we go over to that? What's the conversation going on there?
Some people saying that they wish that this was around sooner. CWHipHop as a whole, it's just a really good platform. Another podcast saying that they think they can't compete with the way that we do things. So that's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And then someone commenting on what we were kind of just talking about, they were saying we need to try and find new flows and new beats too. Like, I feel like the trap beat is almost getting a little stale at this point.
It is. It's been formalized. And like a lot of beats I go and listen, it's like it's the same thing. Maybe a little different melody. Maybe there's a little variance to it, but
the drums are the same.
Yeah.
And it's hard to create a new flow when it sounds like you're going to the beat of the same song that you just wrote 5 times.
100%.
I think that's one thing next that will really take the scene around here to another step. Having producers work with the artists around here. Real producers. Like work with the artists so you can get something new versus like making a beat, sending it out to some artists and hope that they want it. Because you're going to make those beats that you think artists want and they're not innovating. But when you have that artist in front of you and they're like, I'm kind of feeling this mood, and like, okay, play around with it, you might discover something new. That innovation is going to be great when you have them in your vicinity. Like if you have a studio you can bring them in, invite them to. Wisconsin artists can pretty much travel a good 2-3 hours for something. Like that's not unheard of. Like I'll drive 2-3 hours for something because I want to go to that. Not the drive is nothing. Like,
well, and speaking of like the producer stuff, watching even our buddy Garke, our normal social media guy, he's been diving in. He always makes a different beat. None of his beats stick to a consistent thing. He wants to make something new, something that he hasn't heard before. And like this last one, he made this very lo-fi ambient style beat that was just so smooth. And then before, he's made like some more aggressive, almost techno style rap beats that are just, I don't know. It's cool watching someone not limit themselves to doing it and still progressing. Honestly, I think faster than I've seen a lot of people progress.
what kind of beat would you want to see pop off again? Say it's not really popular right now, but if like you were dictating music.
Something that's coming up very strongly that I personally love is like the pop punk and like the punk rock sort of stuff. I kind of am thinking of also doing some within that genre as well, just because like it's so good and I know I can hit that style and I'm excited for it. That's a big thing that I hope is more on the rise than just MGK and a couple other artists.
I know there are some artists on the station that have that kind of rock star punk with rap element in there that I enjoy. Like, I think As He Lay. Yep.
Yeah, I really fuck with his stuff.
Yeah, he's got some in that genre that I really like. I agree. I think punk rap or punk rock would be a good thing to go and push. Like, I want to see more of that. I go to a show of that. That'd be hype.
Yeah, 100%.
What about you? What kind of beat, like, would you want to pick up, like boom bap or?
I miss boom bap. Like, it's weird that you said that because that's what I was thinking when you asked.
It's my answer. Yeah,
because I miss the classic, just 808 shaking, just ground shaking, just simple beats.
2001 Dr. Dre album style.
Yeah, like, and just, I don't know, they were simple, but yet they sounded so different. It was just, I don't know. I did that song Throwback because I just felt like
one of my favorite off your project.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, personally, I felt like I needed to do something like that just because like it was fun to write to. It was fun writing that song. It was fun recording it. It was fun doing it live. Like it was just it was just a fun song in general. I wish that would come back a little bit.
I think there's pockets of it, but if it got back to mainstream, I'd eat that up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, was that yesterday or the night before that you and me were writing to a boom bap beat all night? Yeah. So like, it's definitely something that I'm just starting to step my foot in a little bit because he loves boom bap beats and I don't know, I have a really weird taste in beats, honestly. But and so we started writing to that one a couple nights ago. That was so much fun, and just being able to flow consistently, not worrying about a hook and just doing bars after bars.
Yeah, those are beats you can go no hook. Like, sometimes you're like, fuck, I gotta stop. I gotta put the hook in here. But with the boom bap, you can just go right over it easier, I feel. Like, you can still probably do it with some other songs, but it's easier with the boom bap. It's also more storytelling. I really wish, this isn't really a beat selection, but I wish more storytelling rap would come back. Like, there's some within the main ones, like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, like the big ones, obviously. JD, definitely. We got a lot of lyrical artists on the station as well. Like, that is what I want to push. That's what I love about hip-hop is, like, you are wordplay and double entendres and telling me a story or a perspective I've never heard, and that I want back. That boom bap really thrives with that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
Why don't we talk about JD's merch? This has been some development since we've had you in last. Got a line out here, so I guess you want to show it for the camera because it is going to be up. We'll make sure the mic's out of the way for you.
Use this camera and that camera.
Got this on the front, and then some of them have like the signature on the back.
Mm-hmm. It's got some fuzzies on there, but that's not because of what
it's okay.
he was doing.
Lint rollers on the list of things to buy. Yeah, and then you got some hats. Are you announcing those?
Yeah. Well, so snapbacks are something that was already kind of announced. There was little teasers and stuff dropped on social media, and then I had the 3 that I put. I think I was on my Snapchat story, and one of those got sold, and I ended up keeping the other 2. So the red one got like a black stain on it, so I was like, I can't sell this to somebody, so I just decided to keep it. So yeah, I mean we got snapbacks coming soon. I think the guy that said he was doing them today said that he's gonna print like 20 or 25 of them, so we'll have a lot. And the merch, we were doing separate drops for each merch order, I guess. But now it's going to be on demand. It's like 3 to 5 days, and I'll have it back to you. And the designs have gone crazy since just getting all the equipment to do it myself, being able to play around with things and try different stuff. So like there's crazy amounts of designs, and we're working on a website so people can just go to it and just pick what they want and make it all simple for everybody, because there's a lot of choices, especially for the front. Like the front has, I think right now we're at like 11 or 12 different choices, including the 3 that were available in this last drop. So
I got you. So a big thing too is, are you looking to be able to do merch for just yourself, or are you thinking of expanding out to other fields and like getting more artists some merch, or maybe CWHipHop some merch?
Good lead in. So my company ENT, the first thing that we are announcing is that we will be doing custom merch for any artist, any genre. If you want us to design something to put on your shirt, we can do it. If you want us to put stuff on your shirt and cut the prints and put them on, we can do it. If you want us to order the clothing itself for you, we can do it. So we're going to be doing that, as well as artwork. And I know you guys have your venture in artwork, but we are also offering the custom artwork for artists. And so those are going to be the 2 big things that we're trying to push out there right now, is that merch and artwork. We can do it. Hit us up, ENT Productions on Facebook. We're not on anything else yet, so
okay. Go give it a follow.
Yeah, a big thing too is I'm excited to be there during the process of making some of the new merch and stuff too, because like
you got to see a little bit of it.
Yeah, I got to see some of it, and I enjoyed just watching it and seeing the process of it all. I mean, I knew we personally couldn't get into it as heavy because we got just so much going on with the station, and seeing someone else close to us take over that position of being able to
such
do
a
it.
weight. I was like, no way. This is perfect.
It was too perfect. Like, it's insane. We're so happy to see someone else taking that initiative, because like a lot of people half-ass this shit, and now seeing other people who are diving head first and are like, we're all set on this, like this is what we want.
Not only
That's
will
awesome.
like the merch, like we want you to do CW Hip Hops to kind of keep it local here. So the money that we're given for even in your business, that's going back into the community around here for music, because ENT does stuff for everybody in any genre.
Any genre.
I'd rather do that than like a Vistaprint kind of order thing, because that's just going to some corporation and then they keep it. But what do you got, Prizm?
So a guy on Instagram Live goes, JD, I'll give you $5 and a pack of Skittles for that shirt signed.
Bet.
Make sure you send that through. It's got to be here in the next half hour.
Make it happen, man. The shirt's yours.
Speaking of shirts, we got to have you sign that one. We didn't have the shirt at the time when you were in here, so we got to make sure we don't forget that.
True.
Yeah.
I think we still should get some shots of him, even though it's not during his interview time.
Yeah.
Just to have him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because we got pretty much everyone else. Ty's been great about making sure we got the media for their visit, I guess to say. Dude, we do a lot when you come in. Like when you come into CW Hip Hop here, we do the live DJ. We also do the podcast. we take pictures, so that way we can post to socials, just kind of get used to like posing and things like that. The t-shirt, if you're anticipating coming in for an interview, make sure you know how to sign your name.
Yeah,
practice those signatures.
Practice it, because you're gonna be signing merch if you get famous, so you gotta kind of work on that. So this is just kind of the start for it. We're gonna do like a 1-year edition, so this will be like 2021s. We'll do a new shirt next year, and just kind of like everybody we have come in, sign the shirt, put it away, new one, and then we can kind of just have something to go look back on. And yeah, some people come in, it's fine, like I get it, like we really haven't announced it, like we're gonna have you sign stuff, but they'll do like their just regular initials for it, or just regular letters, and it's like, yeah, this works, but like sign that, sign it.
Put them on the spot, see how they do in the spotlight.
True, yeah, camera in your face, yeah, click, 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 click.
Also, a big thing that I love about new artists coming into is just the sharing of music that is unreleased. Like, we get a early spotlight of what they have, and they can see like some of the stuff that we got in that hasn't potentially been out yet or put on the station.
It's fun to trade that music. Like, I know we go to some other studios and it's like, oh, you want to hear what's in the vault? Like, fuck yeah, I want to hear what's in the vault.
Obviously, I want to hear.
You come to ours, we'll show you ours. So like, yeah, no, it's something that's like, it makes me want to go to a new studio, because I'm like, let's share some music. I want to hear what you got cooking.
No, there's so much culture, and that's why I don't understand any of like the big hate that is in hip hop. I'm like, we all love the same thing, realistically. Like, we all love making this music. This music is our lives. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be doing it. Like, the fakes, you can tell them right away. The people who aren't going to be dedicated, the people who aren't sticking with it. They come in for 6 months, make a couple songs, and then they're gone because they want to do something else.
Or the people that don't even submit their music to a free radio station.
Yeah. There's no reason not to.
Come on.
Yeah, at some point it won't be free. Like, yeah, so take advantage of it now.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because we are growing at a steady pace, and like, that's something I think we should talk about too pretty soon. I mean, if
it takes honestly about 2 hours to add 2 artists into the whole infrastructure. So it's like, it's put in time, like, and we're just doing it for free. Like, we want to, like, obviously, that's kind of what we started, but it's like, at some point it'll also weed out some of those people who aren't as serious. They're like, I don't want to pay $5 for it. I'm just making music. But then those who do, they're like, if you go and try and promote your music anywhere, you're not paying anywhere under $10 probably. Like, nothing with some actual traction. Like, you might post it to some fraud thing, or like you just won't get the results you're hoping. But like this one here, it's like we're trying to push it to people who enjoy hip hop, who are in Wisconsin and want to support that scene. So it's like,
and it's all genuine too. If you like, you guys aren't getting artists, 15,000 views on their profile that aren't, real people.
Yeah.
And that's, that's something, me personally as an artist, that's something that I value, is that, all my views are, they're not the highest, but they're all real, and it's all genuine stuff, and that's something.
Seeing those real numbers go up.
Yeah, and that's something that I like. So, and that's why I liked what you guys were doing, is, it's all real. It's, you guys aren't fabricating anything. It's just genuine.
Yeah, we're trying to get as much music in front of as many people as we can, legit. We're making playlists on social medias like Spotify. We have the CWHipHop Podcast playlist on there, and it has every song that's on CWHipHop.com as well as Spotify. So if you like one, you can literally go in there, like the song, add it to your playlist. That stream you just played goes directly to the artist who put the song out there, so you're supporting them. That was one thing with here, is like, we're playing their songs, but there's no like money being generated for the artists. It's
views
just,
or plays.
But that is a direct way to get them. It's not a lot, but like, you keep playing those. Go in there, play it every once in a while. Like, it's definitely something that we're trying to expand to, like, get the music to where the people are, versus having to bring them to us and like help the artists as much as possible, because that's who we need. We need to support the artists because they make the music we play on the station, and then we get them in here. It's like, yeah, it's a self-feeding cycle that I think everybody, if you help, it'll go much further for everyone.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So here's the thing to think about too.
What do you got?
So as our scene gets bigger around here, what if we start seeing a lot more people moving in from out of state? Are we gonna accept them like with open arms? Is there gonna be a bigger process to all that?
I would say, just I guess talking here, if you are moving from another state to Wisconsin to make music here, yeah, you picked up and moved, and now you're living here. Like, if you're gonna just bounce right away, like, I guess that's kind of like, okay, well, probably won't keep it. But obviously the people who are born, raised here, they're getting pushed. But like, if you're coming here to help push the scene and like it starts to develop later down the road, I don't see the problem with that. I guess.
I'm not saying like necessarily anytime soon, because obviously we have some time to build stuff up.
PSA: if you're moving to Wisconsin for the music scene, don't. Just don't.
Turn back.
You got to find something else for moving to Wisconsin.
It's the dumbest thing you could do.
Maybe Milwaukee
for your music career.
Like
No.
But even then, yeah, like you go to Chicago, you're right there.
Yeah, you may as well. But no, I see a lot coming out of this and building a pretty decent sized scene in central Wisconsin. With Wausau growing at, I'd say, a pretty steady pace, honestly. You see new buildings going up all the time, and there's becoming more fast food chains. That's a huge sign that the city's growing. So, like, I don't know. I see a lot of potential coming.
I would love, like, if I do anything with CWHipHop and, like, it accomplishes anything major, I guess there's other small things, but, like, anything major, I would love to see tours. They go, like, Minneapolis and then right to Milwaukee, right down that freeway stretch. I get it. Those are the big ones. There's enough people here. I think we could get a venue started or have something where some sort of bigger touring artist would just make the hop from Minneapolis, Wausau, and then down. It's just another freeway added in there, another show. Like, it would work. It's just getting that built and getting the word out and then booking those. That's years down the way, I think. But
They're here already. We just need new owners.
Yeah, I guess.
True.
We need a fresh generation as bar owners and restaurant owners is what needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that'll come in time, but
right now,
necessarily it's starting to happen. But I hope we can somehow find a way to give a boost to it. Either get some of these artists that are in the area starting to want to open up places like that.
If you're an entrepreneur and you want to help music, like, you are at a great time to start.
Open a venue.
Open a venue, yes.
Yeah. Let's be real. A lot of these artists, we're a bunch of hustlers. We know where we want to put our money, and that would be one of the biggest things you could do as an artist around here is open a venue for hip-hop. Like, there is a scene here. It's just so deep underground because we have nowhere to go. So if we have a place to go, the amount of revenue you're going to pull in from that is insane.
It would take a lot to start up.
Yes.
But yeah, that return, because I think we did the math at one point. There's like 500,000 people within the Marathon County and 6 surrounding counties. People from those 6 surrounding counties would easily drive the 45-hour to go to a show if there was a venue to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So think of, like, that's just like a conservative 6 counties. I'm sure people further would come because there's, people drive to Milwaukee to go see a big artist because there's nothing to fucking do around here. So they want to go see something live. So they would make that drive. I totally guarantee it. 500,000 people, I think it was like 5% or something. It was like 20,000 people or something. My math might be wrong, but it was like there was a decent amount of people here that would fit our demographic for hip hop and a younger crowd who's looking to go out in a nightlife. Like 5%, I think, is a very conservative number, but that's thousands of people like that would be coming out to do it. Maybe not every weekend, might have slow. I'm not going to say it's going to be popping every time, but it is something you could start for sure.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have the funds to do it, don't put yourself in
right.
some
Don't
stupid
just try
situation.
Yeah.
But like,
Please us.
You do it properly. Like, that's a great business venture. I don't think we're at a point currently that we could necessarily do that. We're running the station and stuff.
Dude, this was a hassle to get all together.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Vroom, vroom.
With that on as well. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anything else? While we have you here, JD, anything else you want to kind of let the listener know what you got in the works? Anything you kind of want to promote? Any outside of your own brand?
Yeah. So I dropped "This Is Me," the latest project, probably what was that? 4 weeks ago.
And it's on
about
SoundCloud.
That,
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud. I got another album coming in fall. It'll be my first full-length project. It's got a couple of features on it that are pretty tight, and this album is going to change everything. Like, it's going to cover up all the steps that I've left already, and I just can't wait to walk on this new path that I'm putting down for myself. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Does this last project you just released, is that going to be on Spotify or Apple Music or anything, or are you holding that off and then you're going to put this next project on all of those?
Songs like Throwback and probably Valhalla will be on Spotify and Apple Music at some point. I'm not really rushing to get them out there, but those two will definitely be on all platforms at some point. Changes, the new album is going to be everywhere.
Awesome.
So far there's 13 tracks, and all 13 of them will be dropped at the same time on all platforms, so I'm pretty excited about that because that's going to be a first as well. So
First time dropping that many tracks all at once?
Yeah, and having full ownership and being able to drop an entire project like that, and it's all produced by KE on the track, so that's also a big plus, is that it's all the same producer, and I'm pretty stoked about it. It's going to be a good project.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. I'll give it a listen a couple times for sure, I know. So I'm excited for that to be dropping. You said fall?
Fall, yeah.
Fall?
I don't have a date yet, but it will be probably early to mid-fall.
All right. Keep a lookout for that. Where can they find you on socials so they can stay up to date?
All social medias, you can find me at JDMakesMusic. It's just across the board, pretty simple.
All right. Perfect. And then I'm going to do a couple announcements here just to make sure we get this in there, because we do have a show coming up this weekend in La Crosse at the Cavalier Theater with Ace Wild. It's July 24th. I believe it starts at 7 or so make sure you are there early just in case. I don't know how many people are going to be there. I guess last time Ace was there, he sold the place out. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people are going to be going. I know with COVID kind of lifting up now, people are excited to get back out, so I can imagine more people will probably be going. Also, there's going to be a interview next week with the Oshi. She's going to be in on the 28th. She's going to be doing a show in Mesa, Arizona on the 23rd, and then flying back, so we're going to be talking to her about that and all of her music endeavors. I know she's kind of got a story with it all, so...
Also next week, it's a little off topic, it's not super serious, but I have a buddy coming from Maine who's looking to start being an artist manager for some of the artists around here too, so that'll be an exciting venture.
Okay.
So yeah, he's coming next week. He wants to kind of shadow what we're doing, see everything that's going on here to make sure he wants to commit to coming here, but he sees a lot of potential. So
Awesome. You said that's next week?
Yep.
Cool. We are changing the time for the live DJ from 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to 7 p.m. That's going to be starting in August, and then we're doing the live podcast directly afterwards, so that'll probably start at 8 p.m. That'll be in August again, so make sure if you come in at 6, you stick around for the show to start at 7. We're not just skipping weeks. We are changing the time. Also, patreon.com we have set up for CW Hip Hop. If you want to support the station, that is a great way to do it. We just ask for... anything you can give, it is appreciated. We do have Tracy, who is our first subscriber on Patreon, so appreciate you, Tracy.
Go, Mom.
Tracy.
So, yeah, that is also on there. We're going to be shouting out the names of everybody who subscribes there as well at the end of the podcast. We had talked about the Spotify playlist that has all the music that's on CWHipHop.com as well as Spotify in one playlist. You can just search CW Hip Hop, find it right away. Follow us on all of our socials on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at CWHipHop. We're also on TikTok, Snapchat, Loom, and YouTube. Also, links to any of the songs that you want to hear from the station elsewhere on the internet, wherever they're hosted, I do have them on the CW Hip Hop artist page. You can find that. Links to all their socials as well. So if you want to go follow them, if you can't find somebody, it's all right underneath their entry there. We do have producers. Oh, that was something else we had added. Producers are now on the bottom of the page as well. So Wisconsin hip-hop producers, there's a link right on the top so you can click to go right to it, but we're going to hopefully expand that like we were talking. Want more producers from Wisconsin to work with, artists from Wisconsin as well, so get that going. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at bvnc9to5. I'm on Twitter at IamBVNC. Prizm, where can the listener find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at PrizmRap, PRIZMRAP, and as Prizm on Facebook. You can also go and stream my music pretty much anywhere from Spotify, Apple Music, whatever other platforms there are, Pandora, all that kind of shit. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate it each and every week. We'll be back again 6 p.m. and then August at 7 p.m. You can find all the past episodes on SoundCloud. We also have a podcast on Spotify, wherever you listen to it as well. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We have a couple other ones. If it's not on a podcast app you use, let us know. We'll try and get it out on there. We're always growing, making sure that we're coming to you versus having to force you to come to us. So, I think that's the podcast for today. JD, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna have Garke back with the interview with the Oshi, and
Yes.
you're always welcome back, JD. So. All right.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Peace.
Peace.